Hey everyone, Robert again. This is end of November. Wanted to do this video because the solar roof has been a product that I've wanted for a long time. Luckily, my mom lives in San Diego, and her roof is a clay tile roof, and we need to replace it as it's been over 30 years. And the solar roof was interesting to her because it looks great, lasts a really long time, produces solar, and that's something she wanted for lowering her electricity, as she wanted to actually add an AC unit to her home and increase her power usage. And we know with premium roofs, based on Tesla's calculations, can be really expensive. A clay tile roof plus adding panels is much more expensive than buying the full roof. And with the new V3 solar roof from Tesla, the price has gone down significantly. So in this video, we're going to cover pricing and everything that has happened through scheduling. As right now, it is November 28th, and my solar roof for her is going to be installed in early January. And we'll get into more of the specifics and timelines and things that could have been better from Tesla, and hopefully some tips that'll make ordering and scheduling for you a lot smoother. So what I'm going to share with you is my Tesla account. So we ordered this system in mid-September and hoping for an end of year install. It is 2020, and the tax credit for getting a system installed and paid for this year is 26%, and that drops to 24% next year. So I'm sorry, 22%. So there's a 4% drop, and then it drops even further. Likely that'll change. I think with a Biden administration, it is likely that is going to be much more friendly for clean energy. So we'll see what happens, but we want to make sure it's installed this year to get the full tax credit. So this is the item. So the to-do right now I have is 0, but the completed of 7 is they're going to ask for your utility bill, photos of your house after you place your solar roof order. They're going to send you information on the layout of your house. And all of these things happen within the first 2 weeks of ordering, but we didn't actually hear from anyone from Tesla for a few weeks. But just to give you an idea of costs, so right now when I'm logged into the account, this is some of the information. You will go through a multi-step process. You have a home assessment, which is uploading pictures of your electrical panel, different sides of your house. Tesla walks you through that all touchless. They don't send anyone out, especially for COVID. 2, they deal with permitting, so they will actually work with the city to make sure that permitting happens. And this took a couple, almost 2 months for this process to happen. And then installation and scheduling. And I ran into some issues with this that I'll get into shortly, but something that I think should help those of you that are waiting to get scheduled for the end of the year. The next steps after that is I have a on-site inspection on December 29th that's not mentioned here. They're going to basically come out and make sure that pricing that has been quoted, everything is going to be up to par. We don't need to upgrade anything, and everything's going to be okay. Assuming that is good, we then schedule January 4th for roof teardown, and then a week later from the 4th on the 11th is when the actual tiles are going in, and all that's pending no weather delays, and hopefully that doesn't happen. And then on the right-hand side is the layout that you'll get much prior to this step, but it's really cool because unlike traditional panels, which right now a medium system is 26 panels, a small system is about 13 panels, as an example, per 4 kilowatts, these are per tile. So these are glass tiles, and they can actually, because the tile is so much smaller versus a giant panel, they can be much more flexible based on your energy needs. So if you have a bill and you need, 5 kilowatts or 6 or 7, right now with the panel setup, you have to go 4, 8, 12, 16. You have a lot more flexibility with the tiles because of the fact that they can decide to put them in different areas of your home, and they're much smaller. So there's a lot more flexibility. As you can see, I can put 1.2 here, 1.8 here. It's pretty amazing, and they can maximize the solar efficiency based on the sunset and sunrise and maximum sun exposure to the home. So once the installation is done, there'll be an inspection, agreement with the utility locally in San Diego for this to turn on, and then we'll hopefully be starting to generate power. And San Diego fortunately has net metering, and so Powerwall isn't really needed unless you're dealing with a lot of power outages, and the time of use doesn't really play too much here. So it's been a really good system for that. And we decided to go with the 4.15 kilowatt solar roof. This was covering energy bills of about 110 $120, and their bill right now is about 75 to 80. So we wanted to give a little bit of room in case they increase electricity usage, which they will, whether they get an electric vehicle or an AC. So we ordered in September. We really didn't hear anything for a bit. So here's my email. So actually, if we go back to the Tesla account at the bottom, eventually you'll get assigned a project manager. So this is Mitchell Reyes, their phone number, email, and we didn't hear from Mitchell actually really at all. I had to reach out because we didn't hear anything. It'd been weeks. So I had reached out at the end of September, a few weeks after we had placed the order, just to say, what's going on? Like, when can we expect anything to happen? The online site said between 3 and 8 months, depending on where you are in the country. And then average installation time, 3 to 8 months, is all Mitchell said, which was like, we knew that. That's what it said on the site. You're my project manager. I thought you would kind of have a little bit more details for me. And so I said, what's going on with the current order? They said, hey, we're still working on your design, layout, and quote. That eventually came. And then I didn't reach out again for another couple of weeks. And then I'd reach out on November 12th. So between about a month after ordering, we got the permits approved. And then I had to reach out and says, hey, when should we expect to hear on the scheduling? And at this point, on November 12th, my mom got a phone call saying, hey, we're going to reach out to you, or I think she got an email that was saying, hey, we're going to reach out to you end of next week to schedule installation. They actually never reached out. And that was really frustrating because here we are, it is mid-November. We had ordered in mid-September, and we still don't have anything scheduled. We've just been waiting to kind of hear from Tesla after the permits were approved. So I reached out to Mitchell on the 24th. This is just 4 days ago. And I'm saying, hey, let me follow up on this because he never responded back and Tesla never reached out to schedule installation. And then Mitchell just said, hey, I apologize that they haven't been in contact. Please give them a call. This was on a Sunday. So I'm just like, why do I have to call Tesla? Or this was on a Monday, and then I had to call on Tuesday. But what if I didn't reach out? Because here we are, it's end of November. What is the chances of them getting this done this year? It's probably pretty low. So I sent that over, and I had reached out to Tesla and I was able to get it scheduled, but everything was booked up. We could only get the on-site inspection done this year, but the actual installation wasn't until January. So the good news is, and it almost works out better, and for those of you that are currently waiting for scheduling, call Tesla. Here's the phone number, 650-546-8411. Give them a call if you're waiting on hearing from scheduling, and then you can schedule. There's nothing left for this year. You might still get an on-site inspection this year, but I would expect early January, and then the rest of install in the rest of January, late January as of now. And this is just for California. I don't know how this is for other parts of the country. But they did say, as I asked about the concern, is like, I'm losing out on that 4% tax credit, is that Tesla's going to write us a check for about $1,000 early next year, or sometime, I think, after install. They're going to basically credit the cost of the difference that we're losing in the tax credit based on the order of your submission, as the project isn't guaranteed to complete by the end of the year. 4% rebate check to offset the tax credit post install. So that's great. We're not going to lose out there, but it was really just frustrating that I had to reach out, and then they told me to then call Tesla to schedule, which then, of course, when I called in, they said your wait is over an hour with no callback. You just have to wait there with the music, waiting for Tesla to call you. And that was really frustrating. Luckily, after 30 minutes, someone was able to answer, as others may have dropped off or calls finished early, and I was able to get that scheduled. But at the end of the day, this is the total order. We have a 1,300, just to give you guys an idea, 1,330 square foot roof. Or I should say the home is that square feet. The roof may be a little bit more square footage needed, but the total cost all in was 26,532. We have a deposit down, assuming the federal tax credit, which is going to be less than this, which we'll have to unfortunately file in 2022 because the installation and payment is taking place in 21, of a total cost of 22,282, which isn't bad at all. This payback is going to be, 15,000 of this would probably be the average cost of a clay tile roof in San Diego. So let's call it 7,000 for solar. We're only looking to offset about on average $100 a month. And through that, you're looking at about a 6.5 to 7 year payback just on the electricity portion. And then the roof, you could think about that will just start to pay for itself and then hopefully last a lot longer than clay tile. So that's been our experience. Mid-September, we are now 2.5 months into the process. This total, assuming no weather delays, if this happens, we'll have this done by mid-January. So call it October, November, December, January. Order to install 4 months, which is not bad. This is much earlier in the 3 to 8 month window that Tesla currently has on their website. And if we go to Tesla right now, we can see what they're quoting. But at the moment, that's not bad. And this potentially could have happened earlier if I knew and to potentially reach out to scheduling proactively, or if Tesla had reached out on time. And because of the mad rush, it is the Q4 at the moment. There's so many orders of people trying to get that tax credit, especially as V3 only came out earlier this year, that you can imagine that this is going to be just a lot more high demand and a little bit more delay. So I hope this video was helpful. I'm just kind of click through the order page here, but the main tip was if you're waiting for scheduling, you can call Tesla. You can reference the number earlier in the video. But here's kind of the example of exactly what we dealt with was a home that was similar to like this, just a lot smaller. But the goal is your solar roof, 31,000, 16,000 for the roof. This is of course a much bigger home, but the point is that the roof cost with the solar panels was going to be significantly more. It's about 15 grand just for a clay tile roof in and of itself, which is what we had, and we didn't want to go with asphalt shingles. So I would check it out. This might make sense for you if your roof does need to be replaced. If it doesn't, you can check out the panels. They look good. They're much more efficient and they last a really long time. But the roof itself, I think that looks pretty slick, but you are limited to one color at this time. So that's my experience right now through scheduling. I'll do another video and update the channel when we actually get to the roof teardown and installation, and hopefully we'll have some good footage for you. Everyone, happy holidays. Take care. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want to learn more. I typically do videos in Arizona. This happened to be the case because I have family in California, and I think the same tips would apply here. If you're getting installation and don't hear from scheduling, definitely call Tesla and they'll reach out. Thanks, everyone. Bye.